Finally, we have reached the car parking area after a long trial back.
And this is how it looks in the morning. Isn't this beautiful? Look around. Ooh. Yes, that's cool, right? That's our car. Let's get in. Let's fresh up and continue our exploration for the rest of the Humpy. So we'll have a quick break, have a bath, have a breakfast or a brunch maybe.
And then get back on track. So after freshing up, we have reached a Narasimhaswamy temple. They don't continue pujas in here because, after a small crack also, people in our religion don't actually do pujas to the statues. So one such statue is right behind me, if you can see. That's Narasimhaswamy right behind us. Reading about this statue of Narasimha, we have found some important facts. Apparently, it's not just the limbs. If you look around, the left lap had Lakshmi on it. That's Lakshmi Roop, but even that is missing. The limbs are missing, and apparently, there was a roof on top of it. Unfortunately, even that is missing, because of which the weathering has impacted it even more. And what's more crazy is it's a monolithic rock. So it was sculptured on a single piece of rock. And it's almost 6.5 meters tall. Wow. Next to the Narasimha place is a giant shivling that you can see. Look at this. Wow. The placement of itself is magnificent. Just look at it. And there's water that is continuously flowing in down here. You can even find fishes. And this looks really beautiful. Guys, we are right now opposite to Department of Archaeology Museum and Heritage Center. If you see that. Yep. So that place has many statues that are intact and are of more importance. But we want to explore more of those places that are raw and less explored, or maybe are of historical importance but not being captured in a museum. So that way we'll get to see them as they are. So that's our idea. But this is a place that you should try and visit. But on the way to this, you'll find a lot of places, like there's a mosque, there is also what is that, King's Palace basement, and many more things. Mosque we have seen. What else did we see? Some elephant stable, not stepping path, stepped well I think, right? Stepped well. There are multiple things. So I'll show you those, but I heard that Archaeology Museum is also worth a visit. So put that in your list as well. But let me show you more places so that you can make an idea on what all places you have to visit. We personally like doing this rather than going into a museum. So it's around, what's the time? I think it's around 1:30 p.m. So it's freaking hot in winter also. While the other two friends are getting ready, we thought we'll see places very nearby. Right now, let me focus on that. So we are near Hazara Rama Temple, Underground Shrine Chamber and King's Audience Hall. Let's actually take a look at them. They seem to be in a very huge open space. There you go. All around. Let's have a look. climb this up now. So basically Mahanavami Dibba. Dibba actually means a platform. So I guess probably some things like the king's ceremony or any important events would have been done here. I'm actually excited to see what lies on top of it. Is it a flat surface or is it hollow? Let's see. Guys, you have to look at the stepwell behind me. Look at that. Wow. Love this. It's right next to the Mahanavami Dibba. I love this, man. Such symmetry. Just wow. Water harvesting happens here where the water flows in from here into the stepwells. That looks really interesting.
हमारे कुछ सीक्रेट बात करना है, वो पूरा सीक्रेट बात इसका अंदर करता है, ठीक है ना? ये पहले कैसे होता था? ये पहले इसके ऊपर दो रूफ होता था। पहले का रूफ पत्थर का दिखेगा, सेकंड का रूफ लाइमस्टोन का दिखेगा, उसको ऊपर 3 फीट पानी रहेगा। आने वाले के लिए क्या समझ आता है, इधर पानी है तो पानी टैंक, पानी पीने का टैंक बोल के तो बैठ के सब पानी पी के जाएगा। बट राजा लोग नीचे से भी बात करेगा, बात करने का हवास बाहर भी नहीं सुनता है, ठीक है ना? पहले इसके लिए आगे तो दरवाजा होता था, लोग के लिए पता नहीं होता था, ऐसे घूम के गए तो रास्ता किधर से है बोलते।
Get into the secret chamber down. We'll show you the path how we came in. Watch out. Yeah, that's the path. I can hardly see anything, but look at this. And it is so cool, despite of the weather being freaking hot outside. Down here, it's very cool. That is such a crazy architecture. We are back to the way. This set of monuments here are actually having a ticket entry, which is like 40 per head, because I think they are of utmost importance. Right side we can check out the basement of Queen's Palace is what they say. So that could be the reason, because everything else other than the basement is all destroyed. But what is important and what's interesting is the Lotus Mahal there. That looks really pretty. And also intact, but what is more interesting is I just got to know from Nikhil that always, the temperature there can be maintained between 30 to 25 degrees centigrade. And the reason is apparently they have a water system that spreads all over the ceiling area. It seems under Sri Krishna Devaraya's rule, there were approximately 800 elephants, but 11 that were here were given the highest importance. They were not used in any kind of wars, but they were treated as those elephants that were taken for mahotsavs, carnivals and all such things. So these were probably Sri Krishna Devaraya's most favorite 11 elephants that used to be here. Nikhil here has an interesting fact about this cabin. Nikhil, what were you saying about this cabin?
The cabin size is very huge because they want elephant to be able to turn inside.
Oh, that's
without
interesting.
coming outside.
So it was
is
more
very
like a good
huge
room.
space, yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
the reason it is this huge.
oh wow.
And all these 11 elephants have some special place in Krishna empire.
Oh, like you said, they were used only for carnivals,
Yes.
mahotsavs,
Dasara
not
festival.
wars.
Yes, not for wars, but for Dasara festivals.
That's interesting. Ah. gigantic. Wow. Came so far back, but still I'm unable to cover whole of this in a single frame. Wow. If you see right behind me, these 4 pillars are completely different from the rest of the temple. They're not made with granite, they're apparently made with black basalt, and that's not some stone that you can find nearby. So that really shows what all went through in making such temples. They did travel a long distance in coming down here to add beauty to this architecture. Person with a beard. Can you see him? Any guess who this could be? He's there everywhere. He's there here. He's there here too. And then he's here too. We figured that out, that he's Vishwakarma, and that's how he looks.
Yeah.
See? Can you see this? It looks like he's sculpting the world.
Arctic in the world.
Yes.
That's the reason they call him as Vishwakarma.
Okay, that's the reason. Vishwakarma. Karma means work. Vishwa means world. Someone who worked on the world. Smart. Like I said, this temple has all sculptings of parts of Ramayana. And here we can see one important part of Ramayana there, where Marich comes in the form of a deer and lures Sita to ask Ram to go get him that deer. And that's when Ram goes to hunt down that deer. And when he shoots the arrow, the deer turns back to Marich and shouts back asking for help from Lakshman and Sita. Such a crazy plot to kidnap Sita, isn't it? And everything is neatly put on these walls. Everywhere, parts of it.
Where are we going?
Now we are headed to underground Shiva temple, if I'm not wrong, and then ultimately we would be covering the Krishna temple and finally a Ganesh temple. So we're going to cover all the 3 right now. There's hope that nothing closes by then. It's better to hurry up because it's already 4 and apparently everything closes by 5:15 here. So like I said, we are near underground Shiva temple. This place is quite, it catches a lot of attention because just look around, you see the ground level and see this temple. This temple is beneath the ground level. Look at the size of the entrance, man. Wow. You see it?
Yes.
Though the water level is only this much here, can you see here later? But as we progress further there, it's like the steps are going down and you can see just the hump of Nandi and its head visible. And the one beyond that could be where the main Shivling could be. That's interesting, man. Why is it so low under the ground? That's surprising. Wow. Like we were discussing, we thought we would come up with some theories of our own on why this temple could be that much way underground. We were just wondering why Shiva is placed like that below the ground, and Sai Kiran came up with a good answer for this. What's that?
Because Shiva is a very down-to-earth person. Lord Shiva is a down-to-earth person.
So that is apparently the hundi that was used back then. A hundi made of stone, and that's where you put in your dakshin. And right now we have reached near the Sri Krishna temple. That is currently under maybe restoration, we could say. Yeah, it's more like restoration that's in progress. And there's a beautiful view right in front. And if you see, those are the Krishna Bazaar that you can see, where the stalls used to be back then when this temple was, intact, and the dynasty, the Sri Krishna Devaraya's Vijayanagara dynasty was intact. Yes.
This is called Spice Market.
Oh, the spice market. Okay. Interesting. So let's go into Krishna temple and see how it looks inside. Can't wait to check it out. Here we have the two gatekeepers of the temple.
Hello.
Hello. Let's go in and see what's inside there. I'm coming in from a different entrance. And to the left is where... Oh. This thing is closed. Why is it closed? Can we get close and see? Yeah. Let me see. It's unfortunate to not find a statue here as well. Such beautiful temples just remain as ruins here. With all the architecture visible, the hopes on what could have been inside there in the center of the temple, is like really high, but it's unfortunate not being able to see any of those here. But end of the day, it definitely means that these temples were something that were beyond our imagination and something really fantastic. I can just imagine with such great architecture and so many people probably standing in lines over there to witness that beautiful idols would have been a splendid scenery. But like again I said, it's unfortunate that nothing is left. Just now saw Malyavanta Raghunatha temple. That's a Sri Ram's temple, and it's still of religious importance. As you can see that pujas are going on intact there, and it's placed right on a hill. The other speciality is it has also got a sunset, and apparently there is one more beautiful place to experience the sunset near Hampi. This is not in Hampi exactly. This is in a place called Kamlapur, which is like 2-3 kilometers away from Hampi. But let's go up and see the sunset quickly. To the sunset point, and it looks really beautiful. The good part is it looks like we've got the best seat out here. I'll show you around how many people are waiting for the sunset, and finally I'll also show you the sunset. Watch out. So I hope you guys enjoyed our day 1 and day 2 at Hampi. It was an excellent ride. We enjoyed this adventurous trip till here, but it's not over. We would be heading to Badami. All of you guys, you have to stay tuned to watch out the next video, because Badami is a place that is amazing. I'm saying that because Rajamouli, the greatest of Indian directors of this era, he has shot few of his blockbuster movies there, and I don't want to speak much about that place.